Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. I'm going to share with you my seed haul. This is Celine inflatana. And this is a new herb to me that's supposed to be really delicious, and only people in Italy pretty much eat it, so I had to get that. This is dill, but this dill is supposed to be a dill that's slow to go to flower. So if you're a person that likes dill in your food, this dill is supposed to be one that will last you a whole long while. And it said that when it does go to seed, it doesn't combine with fennel. So you can not have to worry about it crossing with fennel and giving you some Frankenstein dill or fennel. And I was really excited about this. You guys know how much I love chard. Well, look at this chard. It looks like spinach. It looks like mustard greens. And it's called Greens of Italy. That's what verde means, greens. Da is of. And then I think taglio is the Italian name for Italy. So they just leave off the I. So I think that's Italy, but those look delicious. So I thought I'd give those a try. And they have so many different types of chard because chard is a staple in the Italian diet. So if you want some chard seed and you can't find them anywhere else, you can get them from Franchi's. And it doesn't take very many chard seed, guys. That pack is really enough for a farmer. These are rampions, and these are the turnips that Rapunzel is in the Rapunzel story. It's how she ended up in that tower, stealing somebody's rampion. And they have a beautiful flower on them. And I want to show you something about the seed at this company because you might not know. They tell you how to grow all over the world. So there's 3 different growing zones, and they use Roman numerals because they are a Roman company, and to tell you when to plant your seed. And my growing zone is the same as the Middle Eastern climate. Most of America is in this red belt right here. Most of America is in the red belt right there. And then the top part there, that's the European countries and colder parts like Alaska and stuff like that. So you just find the color. If you're in Alaska, Russia, or Europe, you use the blue dots. In this line here, it tells you where to plant. And you see they have the little seed picture there, and they're showing you that you put the seeds in the ground. And these are the months when you plant rampions. For me, it says that I can plant them from February through May in the ground. Can't plant them in the heat of the summer. And then if I want to plant them in the winter time, I can start planting again in September. Now, as far as the harvest, if I plant them in the latter months, it looks like I can harvest in January and February. And they probably go to flower somewhere in here. But if I plant them early in the year, then I can harvest them in the summertime. And also I can start harvesting again for Christmas. So that sounds pretty good to me. So that's what I'm going to do with those. But that's how to read the back of it. Also, as far as languages are concerned, you look at the flag that matches your language. So this is probably Italian. I don't know what language that is. Oh, that looks like Spanish. And that's probably Polish. I don't know what that language is. And they have this is some kind of European language like German maybe. And this is probably French, just kind of eyeballing it. And this may be some kind of Russian language or Swedish or something like that. Or maybe it's a Middle Eastern language. It could be a Middle Eastern language. I see they don't have any Asian languages on here. But see the English flag there? That's where it's written in English. So mid-early variety, annual plant. Young leaves are used in salads, and long roots are used as a radish. So as far as companion gardening and all that, you can plant this just like you would radish. Quick crop. Now this is what I went there for. This is saltwort. It's a drought-tolerant crop. They were only selling this huge pack, way more than I need. And they said that these seeds die after you plant them, so you only get a short window to plant them. Well, I had old seed and thought I needed fresh to eat. Planted my old seed. Why did those old seeds germinate right away? So I have all this saltwort seed that I really don't need because my old seed germinated. But no matter. I believe the good Lord is telling me something. Here they kind of tell you when to plant this. You can start planting in February and you keep planting until this month here. My Roman numerals aren't good. I'm figuring that must be 7. So 7 is the latest you can, no, 8, 9, 10, 11. This thing grows like a weed, y'all. You can plant it all the time. And basically only December and January are off bounds. And as soon as you plant it, you can start harvesting it. That doesn't sound right, because this plant, I know everybody in restaurants used to wait for it to be in the stores. It was highly celebrated. And yeah, over here they say no matter where you are, you plant it all the time, you harvest it all the time. Okay, no problem. Well, I'm going to go give it a shot. I already talked about my beans in another video. I can't plant the beans like snake beans that everybody loves to plant that grow in tropical weathers, because they want a whole lot more water than I have. So to get that snake bean flavor of those long beans, I have to plant these curly beans, and they give me that same kind of flavor. And they're pretty. And these beans have the benefit of not faltering in the heat. So you see they have you planting them starting in March, and then you start to harvest in May, and the harvest goes all the way through the summer. So that's the benefit of these beans. You can harvest them all summer long. Very few beans will do that. So that's another thing. Even though you get pole beans, people say, oh, you get more than one harvest off pole beans. A lot of pole beans go into shock. You get a harvest if you don't get your set, and then that heat comes in the summer and they kick out on you. I need a lot of Paris Market carrots, so I got them from here. These carrots are so delicious. I'm going to overplant them over my parsnips, because the parsnips are going to flower, and carrots and parsnips don't take a lot out of your soil. They're really, really easy on the soil. I don't know how they grow so much food the way they don't take anything out of your soil. And yeah, love these carrots. Then again, I got this very popular bean. It's a climbing French bean, but this is a Roma style bean, like my beloved Kentucky Wonder. And they show you the growing for this one. And you see, if you look at the growing condition, this bean is not taking the heat like the other one. You grow this in January, February, March. April is the last month to plant this one out in my zone. The next zone, it just starts in April, and you can plant it all the way till summer. But for me, the harvest of this bean begins in March, and it goes till June. So this is a spring crop for me. Oh, I gotta get on it because I want some beans. So, but if you're in a hotter area like most of America, then you can plant it through traditional spring, and looks like you can go through it. It will harvest for you even into fall. So I don't know why the harvest is so bad for me. I guess they figure it's going to be too hot and dry. I don't know, but I'm going for it. Lettuce doesn't do well for me in the summertime. This is called sugar loaf. Yeah, that is a very deceptive term. I'm translating this. Pan means loaf in English, or bread in English, and zucchera means sugar. So this is pan of sugar. And this right here that says cicoria, that means chicory. Okay, so yeah, I've learned, if you go up here, you'll probably find where it says chicory. See, chicory? There it is. In English, it's called chicory. And, but in Italian, it's cicoria. And I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Go over here on the back and see it says pan de zucchero. And then in English, it says sugar loaf. So, yeah, but I know what I'm getting. But this is a perennial in my area, and these plants go really, really big. I love them. And I'm just going to see if it's sweeter than the Verona that I have, so I'm adding that. This is for next year. This is a salad mix. And this is the only salad mix I know of that has chicory, mustard greens, endive, all those kind of different lettuces, butterleaf lettuces, things that do well in heat. So they list the ingredients there in Italian, but I can kind of translate it for you. Cicoria is a chicory, and that's Selvatica de Campo. Then they have the red chicory. That's the most popular one. Then they have my sugar loaf. Then they have the one that I have in my garden, which is rose red of Verona. That one grows huge. And then they have another, they have an additional sugar loaf kind that's a specialty one that you can only get in Franchi's. They got that one there. And then they got a, I don't know, Indivia ricotta pancali of Costa Bianca. I don't know. Oh, I know what that is. That is, that's arugula. Yeah. Indivia is arugula. Lattuga means lettuce. So this is blonde of Foglia. This is another light colored lettuce with a red bicoloring in it. This one here is the Marvel of Venice lettuce. That's a lettuce of all different areas. And then they have your rucola, and they have a couple of those. So in addition to chicories, they have some, I can't remember the name of that right now. And then they have mustard greens in there. So I think this one right here, Sinape Bianca, I think that's mustard greens. One of these is going to be Roman lettuce, So it's going to be a Romano lettuce, which is the lettuce that you have in chef salads. Then one of those lettuce is going to be a butterhead lettuce. And Marvel of Venice is going to be the lettuce for all seasons. But their lettuces just deal with heat better than other people's lettuces. And then you got 2 endives there, which are temporary plants, and you got mustard greens. So it's a great mix for people who want some lettuces that will take the heat. Oh, here they have it in English, and they even have an American flag on this one. So we must buy a lot of lettuce. They say 14 varieties of arugula, lettuce, endive, escarole. That was that last one. That was the one that's called rugola. Escarole, chicory, and white mustard. Okay, so yeah, that's good for me. This is something just for my area. It's a caper bush. So I gotta put this seed in the refrigerator. And nobody else had scabiosa. I like these plants in the summertime, so I'm gonna give it a shot. So I was able to get a lot of seed. They shipped in one day from Kansas. I don't know how they did that, but I think it's because people think their seed is coming from Italy. Franchi seed in the United States of America comes from Kansas, okay? So there you go. Thanks for watching my seed. Jesus loves you, and I love you with all the Jesus in me. Be blessed, beautiful.